Namaskar and welcome to the news for Hearing Impaired. The top stories at the hour. Strong blow to terrorism from 8th BRICS summit in Goa. The summit declares combating all forms of terror, including cross-border terror, as the top priority of the grouping. PM says that there is a mothership of terror in India's neighborhood. Prime Minister calls for isolation of those countries which nurture the philosophy of terrorism, addresses BRICS BIMSTEC summit in Goa. PM says a country in India's neighborhood embraces and radiates terrorism. Pakistan intensifies ceasefire violations in Jammu Kashmir. Soldier martyred in unprovoked firing from Pakistan across LOC in Rajouri sector in Jammu and Kashmir. Indian troops give befitting reply. Finance Minister Arun Jaitley makes clear the government's stand on triple talaq, asserts that the personal law must be compliant with the constitutionally guaranteed fundamental rights. In international news, in a shocking incident, 15-year-old daughter of former world champion sprinter Tyson Gay killed in a cross-firing between two groups in US town of Kentucky. And in cricket, India continues its winning spree in ODIs, crushed New Zealand in the first ODI at Dharamshala by 6 wickets. All-rounder Hardik Pandya declared man of the match. And now the news in detail. 8th BRICS summit at Goa concluded with BRICS nations unanimously adopting the Goa Declaration. In the 109-point declaration, the leaders called upon all nations to adopt a comprehensive approach in combating terrorism. They condemned the recent attacks against some BRICS countries, including the Uri terror attack in India. The leaders condemned terrorism in all its forms and stressed that there can be no justification for such acts. BRICS nations also pitched for a stronger global commitment for combating corruption and repatriation of black money stashed away overseas. Prime Minister Modi has pressed for comprehensive and collective action against global terrorism. Addressing BRICS summit in Goa on Sunday, PM Modi warned the supporters of terrorism that any selective approach will be counterproductive. Without naming Pakistan, PM lambasted it, saying that in our own region, terrorism poses grave threat to peace, security and development, adding that tragically its mothership is a country in India's neighborhood. He further added that terror modules around the world are linked to this mothership, and this country shelters not just terrorists but also nurtures a mindset. The first ever BRICS BIMSTEC Outreach Summit took place in Goa under the chairmanship of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The Prime Minister said convergence between BIMSTEC and BRICS can build synergy in ensuring peace and prosperity in the region. Referring to BRICS and BIMSTEC states, the PM said, "We are joined by a common vision and peace, stability and development." Hitting out hard on Pakistan without naming it, he says, "One country in India's neighborhood embraces and radiates darkness of terror. Terrorism has become its favorite child." At the end, all the head of the states that spoke in the summit called for increased synergy in the region. Almost every state harped on the threat of terror and climate change as the two major challenges before the world. The State Councillor of Myanmar, Aung San Suu Kyi, will arrive in New Delhi today. She reached India on Sunday to attend the BRICS BIMSTEC Outreach Summit in Goa. Suu Kyi will be accompanied by several key ministers and senior officials. During her 3-day stay in Delhi, she will call on the President Pranab Mukherjee and also meet Prime Minister Narendra Modi and External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj. She will attend a business event during which she will interact with leading Indian business leaders on ways of bolstering economic and commercial relations. In the latest ceasefire violation from Pakistan's side, one Indian Jawan was martyred in Rajouri sector in Jammu on Sunday. Sepoy Sudhesh Kumar, hailing from Sambhal district of UP, was martyred when Pakistan Army initiated indiscriminate and unprovoked firing on Indian Army posts along line of control. Finance Minister Arun Jaitley has urged people not to confuse the issue of triple talaq with Uniform Civil Code. In his official Facebook page, the Union Minister wrote, "The issue with regard to the constitutional validity of triple talaq is distinct from the Uniform Civil Code." Jaitley noted that personal laws are subjected to time amendments. He said government's stand on triple talaq issue is clear that personal laws have to be constitutionally compliant and the institution of triple talaq will have to be judged on the yardstick of equality and the right to live with dignity. He said government's affidavit in the triple talaq case recognizes this evolution. 3-day meets of Goods and Services Tax Council, chaired by Union Finance Minister Arun Jaitley, will begin in New Delhi today to decide on the crucial rate structure for GST. In its last meeting in September, the GST Council approved 5 sets of draft rules, including those of registration, payments, return and refunds. However, states continued to seek clarity on the service tax issue, with only some agreeing to the threshold being above Rs 1.5 crore. A supervisory committee set up by the Supreme Court to inspect the Kaveri Basin for assessing the ground realities will file its report to the Apex Court today. The committee, comprising officials and technical experts from the centre, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Kerala and Puducherry, visited the entire Kaveri Basin area from 7th October to 15th October to assess water availability in the basin area and crop situation in the wake of the drought. The report will help the Apex Court arrive at a decision on quantum of water to be released by Karnataka to Tamil Nadu post 18th October, when the matter will be heard next. The Apex Court, in its last hearing, asked Karnataka to release 2,000 cusecs Kaveri water per day to Tamil Nadu from 7th October to 18th October. Calling for concerted efforts from the world community to fight the scourge of terrorism, Vice President Hamid Ansari said there is a need for a strong global legal framework to eliminate the menace. After delegation-level talks between the Vice President and Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban, the two countries signed 2 agreements. Memorandum on cooperation in the field of water management and an MOU between Indian Council for World Affairs and Institute of Foreign Affairs and Trade of Hungary was signed in the presence of both leaders in Hungarian Parliament. Vice President also thanked Hungary for support extended by the Central European country to India's membership of the Missile Technology Control Regime and for entry into NSG. On his last day of Hungary visit, Vice President will be meeting with the President of Hungary while interacting with the students of the faculty of Cornelius University. Today back home is the deadline fixed by Election Commission for 21 Aam Aadmi Party MLAs to explain why they should not be disqualified from the Assembly after their appointment as parliamentary secretaries. The 21 lawmakers have faced disqualification from the Delhi Assembly for allegedly holding office of profit as parliamentary secretaries. An RSS worker was hacked to death on Sunday by 2 motorcycle-borne men in Bengaluru. Incident took place when Rudresh was returning home on a bike after attending an RSS meeting at a nearby area. The police have registered the case in this regard and are investigating the case. The attackers managed to escape despite some members of the public giving chase. Rudresh was rushed to hospital where doctors declared him brought dead. RSS will stage a protest today against the murder. The teenage daughter of former US Olympic sprinter Tyson Gay was fatally shot at a Kentucky restaurant early on Sunday. Police say 15-year-old Trinity Gay, a star high school runner herself, was struck by a bullet during a shootout in the parking lot. Police say they have detained 2 people for questioning in connection with the incident. A homicide investigation is underway. In Iraq, a military operation to recapture the Iraqi city of Mosul from Islamic State militants has begun. The long-awaited assault from Kurdish Peshmerga Iraqi government and allied forces is backed by the US-led coalition fighting IS in Iraq. Mosul is the group's last major stronghold in Iraq. The loss of the city would mark the effective defeat of ISIS in the country. Mosul, Iraq's second largest city, has been under its ISIS control since June 2014. In sports, India registered their first win over New Zealand in limited overs cricket since January 2014, hammering Kiwis by 6 wickets to take a 1-0 lead in their 5-match series on Sunday. Virat Kohli notched up his well-composed 37th half-century in ODI cricket while chasing a paltry 191 to win. The hosts achieved the target with just about 17 overs to spare. Earlier, India bundled out New Zealand for a mere 190 in the cricket ODI match at HPCA Stadium. And with that, we wrap up this edition of News for Hearing Impaired. We will be back today at 10:55. Namaskar.